in SEC play. It's LSU and Texas A&M, but only one has remained.
This is a lot of football to be played here in the month of November. But as we say around here, the games in November are the ones you remember. Our first goal is to go win an SEC championship. And that's what we're striving for.
That's why we come to Texas. As a little kid, you live to play in these type of games in this atmosphere.
They're going to be loud, they're going to be rowdy, they're going to be energetic.
It's going to be a dogfight, four-quarter game.
We have to play physical and we have to execute. Trust in the culture that we've developed.
There's a standard, and that's the way we're playing it in there.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, what's up, man?
How are you?
Oh, I'm better now. I guess you're like I told you, you rubbed some juju off on me, man. We got freaking. Oh, my wife called me, told me it was backed up, and so I got home and she had already dug up the septic tank. All I had to do was pop the lid, and yeah, she had it dug up, and
wow.
I popped the lid, and we went to work.
Well, man, we got an awesome show tonight.
Got a different show tonight. A little something different.
Yeah, it is a little different. It's kind of the same avenue we've been down, but it's also different because we've been on this this recruiting avenue, and we went to the next level, and we got a coach on. I'm really excited about this. He actually went to my high school, which is very, very small. But I'm excited about it, man. Kind of want to see, kind of his journey with, what he did after high school. Because I said I'm not sure. I forgot how much older he is than me, but I wanted to see his journey, kind of, where he went after he left, and kind of just where his coaching journey and what it's been like. And so with that, we'll bring him on and get to talking with him. Hey, man, how are you?
What's
Can
up,
you hear us?
Oh,
Can you guys hear
Can
me?
you hear it?
I don't know.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
We can hear you now.
I can't hear anything right now. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
What is going on here?
Well, we had that happen one time. Remember with
Oh,
hey.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna tell him. Hold on, guys. Give us a second. Hey, what's going on, Brandon? Remember that happened with who was that? That was Keelan. That was right.
What's
that was
up,
Keelan.
Brandon? Yeah, Keelan. We had to jump out and jump back in.
Here, let me see if did you have to resend it to him? I can't remember what you did.
No, it should be good. This is the same link.
Yeah, I'm just gonna send it to him again. All right, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
This isn't the first time we had a recruit on, and it did the same thing to him. We could hear him, but he couldn't hear us, and so we just told him to back out and come back in, so it worked.
I got you.
Well, hey man, appreciate you joining us and taking some time out of your evening to talk with us. So man, tell me. I mean, what year did you graduate? I mean, I know you're older than me, but I can't remember what year did you graduate from Union Hill.
I graduated from Union Hill in 2006.
2006.
Really?
2006. Yeah, I was graduated 2006. Yep.
Guys, so you're only 4 years older than me? There's no way.
Yeah.
I feel like you're much older than me. No disrespect. I don't know why I thought you were closer to.
What's up, Juan?
My sister's age, but I guess not.
No.
So I was in 8th grade then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't know why I thought you were a little bit older than that, but you're not.
Yeah.
So kind of take us through after you left Union Hill. Kind of what was your journey after you left there? Did you go play football? Did you go directly to coaching? Kind of what was it like?
Well, no, I went to Tyler Junior College, and I went there and I played football. And after Tyler Junior College, I transferred to Langston University. It's a historically black college university in Langston, Oklahoma. And after that, I mean, and the thing was, I learned a lot while playing football because, there was a year where I had to sit out because of injury. I got hurt in camp, broke my ankle. And so you learn a lot from not being able to play and just being around the game and stuff like that. So, learned a lot. And I think that's when I really wanted to go into coaching. Started wanting to go into coaching when I did hurt my ankle and I had to sit out as far as being on the sideline and being more around be around the coaches and not as much around the playing side of things when I was out. So that's kind of when I wanted to start coaching. But after I graduated from Langston University, I went ahead and went back to Union Hill and I started coaching.
You coached at Union Hill?
I coached at Union Hill for 2 years. I coached at Union Hill for 2 years. Yep. Coached at Union Hill for 2 years. And when I was there, it was the first year they were 11. And then the next year they went 6.
So you got to do both.
I did both.
What's the biggest difference in that as far as coaching them?
I'll tell you this. I would hate to coach defense in 6-man because there is so much space and not a lot of defenders out there.
Yeah.
So that's why those scores are crazy. Like I see how they are because I'm telling you, there's a lot of field to defend and just if you have a kid that's dynamic in regular football, yeah, he's gonna get his yards and stuff like that. But if you have a dynamic kid in 6-man, he might have 500 yards on a night because he can run all along because there's a lot of space out there. But I tell you, it was a learning experience and things of that nature. But I tell you what, I have fun doing it. You get really creative when you're doing stuff like that, and So that was a fun part of my life. So I really liked doing that, and it was cool. And I was like, yeah, but I kind of want to get into college ball. So I started off. I went down to the University of Louisiana Lafayette. I was in strength and conditioning because it's really hard at times to break into coaching, especially when you're trying to get into college. So I had to start in strength and conditioning, and I started working with the D-line there at Lafayette. And the D-line coach actually knew the offensive coordinator at Arkansas Tech, actually where I'm at now, at Arkansas Tech. And he put in a call for me, and they got me on as the assistant offensive line coach at Arkansas Tech, and that worked into me being that first season of 2016. I was assistant offensive line coach. Well, then in 2017, I was the H-backs tight ends coach at Arkansas Tech. So I had my own room, and I was able to run my own meetings and having to manage a recruiting board and manage grades and making sure those guys are where they're supposed to be, making sure they know the game plan, making sure they're on at weights, basically you're not a babysitter, but you're just making sure you check up on them to make sure that they're where they're supposed to be. And a lot of times they are. Now there are sometimes they are not. So and that's the thing is you having to manage each kid, and each kid is an individual because a lot of times what people don't realize about college athletes is that college athlete was the man where he came from. You know what I mean? He was that dude, at his high school. And so with that comes sometimes egos, and with that comes sometimes that they've never had to be in the background. You know what I mean? Like they've always been up front and the star of their school and stuff like that, to having to now play a role at a college university. And sometimes some freshmen struggle with that. They're like, man, I was able to do this last year. I was this and I was that. And then I get to college and I'm not able to do this and do that. So it can take a mental part on each kid as well. So just managing that, and I was really grateful to be able to do that at Arkansas Tech. And that really helped me a lot in my career, because right after that, the offensive coordinator at Arkansas Tech took the head coaching job at Bethel University in McKenzie, Tennessee. And he took me along as his offensive line coach. And we had a historic year. We went 10-0, first time in school history. We scored 55 points a game. It was the most in the nation. Yeah, it was the most in the nation from JUCO all the way to Power 5. It was the most in the nation, 55 points a game.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was a big time year, which was a springboard for the head coach at the time. He then left there to go on to be the offensive coordinator at the University of Kansas, and he was the NAI head coach to now the offensive coordinator at the University of Kansas. So he went there, and I stayed at Bethel for 2 more seasons. Before then, I went to Conway, Arkansas, to be the offensive line coach at Hendrix College. So I was there for 2 years. Really enjoyed my time there. Arkansas is a really pretty place, and now Texas holds a special place in my heart. But Arkansas is a pretty place too. But no. But then after being there for 2 seasons, I left and I went to University of North Alabama, where I most recently was. I was offensive line coach there for 2 seasons. And now I've transitioned into the offensive line run game coordinator at Arkansas Tech. The offensive coordinator that was at UNA took the offensive coordinator job at Arkansas Tech, and I was blessed to be able to go with him to be his run game coordinator.
So you're back.
Yeah, I'm back at Arkansas Tech.
Wow.
So that's why I've been hitting the ground running now, because listen, I've been there. I got to campus, and we had a official visit for transfer portal guys on a Friday, Saturday. Oh no, on a Thursday, Friday, and then had the weekend, and then I hit the road coming to East Texas and hitting the road running, trying to get a high school class together and stuff like that. So that's where I've been, and that's why I'm in East Texas right now.
Man, that's awesome, man. It seems like you've had a little journey. Have you moved every time that you've left?
Yeah, I've moved.
Wow.
I've moved, and I tell you what, that's what I'm doing now. So in between schools today, I was looking at, my wife was sending me text messages about houses that I need to make sure I go see when I get back to Russellville. And you need to call and see when you can go view this house and do this and do that. So I have been, even between schools, I have been busy on the phone and looking at houses and all this kind of stuff.
Appreciate it, Kobe.
Do you buy every time, or do you rent? That's a curious question.
I tell you what, I rent.
I don't blame you, because as much as you don't know where you might be.
Oh yeah, man! I tell you what.
Let me ask you this. This might be a kind of an out there kind of question. If you could pick a school to be the head coach at, say for the next 15 years, what is your school? What is the school that you want to be the head coach at? University, whatever. Like what is your?
Oh, you talking about dream school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you to be the head coach.
Listen. I'll be real honest with you. I'm from East Texas. I grew up watching the University of Texas football. I tell people, I see coaches all the time, and I meet them and I talk to them and everything. But there are two people that if I met them, that I would be an absolute fanboy, and that's Mack Brown and that's Vince Young. If I met either of those guys, I would be a fanboy because I'm telling you, I love University of Texas growing up, watching them and stuff like that. And it's always when we would go down when I was coaching at Union Hill, and when I was at Union Hill, we would go down to Austin for different things and stuff like that. And I just always loved the red clay brick on top of the buildings and
Yep.
how everything just looks so prestigious around there. And I tell you what, I don't know if there's any other uniform that's just quite as beautiful as that burnt orange and white. You know what I mean? When they were all white with the burnt orange, it's just a nice look now. So that would be dream school. But I you know, that's a tall mountain to climb right there now.
Oh yeah. So real quick, another thing, kind of backdooring off of that. You said you kind of college coaching was where you kind of wanted to get to. Like it was being an East Texas kid. Would you ever consider high school head coaching? I like say Longview. Say Longview called you and said, "Hey, we want you to interview for the head coaching job at Longview High School." Would that draw you back to the high school side, or is the college route kind of where you're at?
Well, I tell you what, being from East Texas and being just in football in general, I was talking to a FBS group of 5 O-line coach like 3-4 days ago, and he mentioned Longview High School, and he was up in Miami. I mean, he was up in Ohio. And he knew about Longview High School from up there because of the athletes that they put out and things of that nature. So if Longview calls you, you gotta entertain all of that. You got to entertain that. It's not a job that you don't entertain if they were to call you.
Hey, football's football. I mean,
football is football.
And just to put this in there, so I'm from Diana. I grew up in New Diana, so I'm literally right up the road from you guys at Union Hill. So I know the small town football, the small town, the pride in it, man. I know all about it.
Oh yeah.
Is the offensive line and so you do offensive line run game coordinator? Is that kind of where you want to be at, like on coaching wise, or are you kind of open to anything really? Like I'm just saying, if something else was to come up, are you kind of? It seems like offensive line's been your thing. Is that kind of where you want to be? Because you played that right at TJC and in college.
Yeah, that's where I played. You mean I've always I did spend a year as an H-back tight end coach, and then they're just an extension of the O-line. They just get to go out for passes every now and then. So they're kind of like that lucky brother that always gets the break whenever it comes to it. You know what I mean, of the O-line. But I've done that before, and I've always been in some form of blocking. With what I've been doing, except for at Lafayette, I help with the D-line a little bit with that's staying right there in the box and stuff like that. But I mean, I think that helped me a little bit because I knew what they were trying to accomplish on D-line to defeat the O-line, so it helped me to know what we need to do to counteract what they're doing.
How tough is it to, it seems like every 2 years you've moved in a sense. How is that how is that mentally on a person? Or you have a wife, and like, how is that on the family, like to come home and be like, hey, we're moving again?
Oh yeah. Now listen, you got to approach these situations very carefully. So it's a, whenever a coach calls you and says, hey, I would like to bring you in as this XYZ. The first thing you better say is, Coach, I appreciate the opportunity, and that sounds like a fantastic thing, but I have to discuss this with my wife. So that right. Better be what you say, or I got to say something along the lines of, Coach, let me try to get this one passed by Congress. You know what I mean? So you gotta do some selling there and so on like while you're sitting there, you're like, let's look up this town. Let's find the selling points of this job to her right. to let her know that this is why we need to do this.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be tough, because obviously it's your career. So I mean,
you're gonna prove. My wife liked that. My wife liked that comment right there. She liked that little take.
Oh yeah,
she knows that's how it is. We got to make it sound good, right? Like we got.
Oh yeah, you got to make it sound good. Oh yeah. So, but no. The tough part about it is, and I've been blessed. So whenever you get these jobs, a lot of time in renting and even in selling a house, I'll be at Arkansas Tech. Like this last year, when I went to UNA, University of North Alabama, I got there in late February, early March. My wife didn't get there until May. Because a lot of times you're still in your lease. I mean, and some companies won't work with you. Some companies will. Some companies, when you go into, you got to be like, hey, listen, I am a college football coach. This could be for 6 months. This could be for 6 years. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to pay my rent. I mean, I'm going to pay my rent on time, and I don't know when I'll be leaving, but this is what it is. And some companies will work with you, some won't. So on the last one, on the move to Alabama, they didn't work with us. So we kind of had to stay where we were. She had to kind of stay where we were and finish up there. So it's a task on her. So she done a lot of the packing and stuff like that. Now I came in and I moved the stuff to the truck and stuff, but she had to pack it all up and get it all neat. And so when we got to where we're going, we could find everything instead of just having to look in every box just to find some forks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
God dog it, honey, we can't find the forks, you know?
Gotta eat.
We're eating with our hands like cavemen right now. But no, she does a great job. She does a great job, and been truly blessed to have her in my corner. She's matter of fact, I'm in East Texas recruiting right now, and she just called me a while ago. She got herself a new computer chair out of the deal. She's like, you're leaving. She was like, I don't like my computer chair, so I'm getting another. I said, yes, ma'am.
That's it. That's small victories, right? The small victories.
Oh, she got the good one now. She got the one that got the little thing that slides out and it reclines up. I said, you're gonna be asleep at work. You're gonna be asleep at work one day and you're gonna regret that. But
so you say you're the run game coordinator, offensive line run game.
Uh-huh.
What type of guys do you look for? I mean, are y'all like power eye downhill type? Are y'all speed option? Well, what guys do you look for as a coach for y'all's offense?
So you want to, I mean, up front, you want to have guys that can move a little bit. Now, there's some offenses there that you can get big offensive linemen that the thing that they're going to do is go downhill, and there are certain offenses that you can do that in. But the offense that we run, we got to have guys that can pull, that can run, that can pass it, that can do everything, because it depends on what we're getting from the defense of what we're going to be, because we could be from 12 personnel to 11 to 20 to 10, and all that comes with different run game. And the thing is that what we're going to do is we're going to find those guys that are able to run and are athletes, because you can train an athlete to do quite a few things.
Yeah.
But just a road grader, a lot of times that's what he is. He's a road grader, and you can't get mad at him for doing what he does. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Are you I was looking on Twitter at Arkansas Tech to kind of get information about I don't know a lot about the school. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. Did they just get a new head coach as well?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a new staff. Our head coach, Coach Thompson, came over from Ouachita Baptist, which is in the same conference. He actually won the Assistant Coach of the Year for AFCA, which is the big award every year where it's the big coaching, the coaching clinic and stuff like that. So he actually has to go speak at the coaching clinic, I do believe Saturday or Sunday, one of the days. So he won that prestigious award, and that's not an easy award to win. You have to be on top of, and you have to be really tuned in with what's going on. And he was the defensive coordinator over there, and they done a great job. Matter of fact, I think that he is the only defensive coordinator in that conference that's beat Harding in the last 3 years.
I say Harding won it a couple of years in a row.
They have. Well, Ouachita Baptist beat them last year. And the thing that you have to do to beat them is you have to stop their triple option offense. And like I know, last year in the national championship, I do believe they won by like 40 points in the national championship.
Wow.
Harding. So I mean, it's a potent and deadly offense, and Coach Thompson was able to cut it down. So he does a great job, and working for him right now has been great. Great guy to be around and to learn from, and to be the captain of our ship.
What do you like most about Arkansas Tech? Because this is your second stint there. What really draws you there? Is it the culture? Is it just the it feels like home? Like what is it for you? Because I mean, you know, you do see people kind of come back to school sometimes, but what was it
Mhm.
for you that like drew you kind of back to Arkansas Tech for another stint there?
Well, I tell you what, it's the fact that Arkansas Tech is a hidden gem. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful place up there, and I would love for you guys to come up to just see the place for a game or something. You know what I mean? Because it's a
Oh,
beautiful.
you just got to say the words. I mean, get us
Hey,
do what you can
Hey,
do.
hey,
Hey,
it's,
we'll be
it
there.
is it is 4 hours and 13 minutes. I just looked it up. 4 hours and
Oh
13
yeah,
minutes from my house.
oh yeah. Hey,
Straight up,
listen, like
straight up
let's
30.
Yeah, I would love to come to a game. I mean, hey, you're a oh, hold on, we might have lost him.
Yeah. But until we get him back, they also play in Arkadelphia, which is about 2 hours away.
Is that in Arkansas as well?
That's in Arkansas. That's straight. That's right outside. It's in between Hope and Little Rock. But where he's at, you go up 30 to Little Rock, and then you kind of go back to the left towards Oklahoma, and that's where it's at. There you go.
you got me.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we
good.
might come to the Ouachita Baptist game too.
Oh, hey, come on now. That's gonna be a big one. That's
Yeah.
gonna be a big one. But no, hey, listen, I just let me know when y'all are want to come up for a home game, and hey, I'll do whatever I need to do to get the tickets for you or whatever.
Hey,
Oh.
we'll take you up on that. I would love
Yeah,
to come.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, hey, listen, I would love to meet some players. Like I know that's kind of much, but hey, I would have come to a game. We actually just went to the Independence Bowl. That was my
Mhm.
first college game ever.
Really?
We went and watched Army and Louisiana Tech play. Yeah, I never been to a college game, and so we were talking. We're going to make that a yearly thing. It's up the road in Shreveport. I mean,
Mhm.
so we went to that game. We had a blast. It was cold, but we had a
Now-
It was
blast.
cold.
I don't know how y'all were out there now because I went through Shreveport that day, and it was like a dang near tornado earlier that day.
It was out. It was gone by the time the game came.
Yeah,
I
by the time
got
the
you.
game came, it was cleared. It started to sprinkle right before during like the pregame kind of, but
Mhm.
we had a blast going, and yeah, we'll plan it out. We'll come up there and watch a game. We'll make a trip out of it, and we'll come up there and watch. And I'll get in touch with you. But that would be awesome, man. We have some players that are saying they're going to attempt to get us some to go to some games this year, next year. So we're looking forward to that. So yeah, we'll definitely come out there and check it out. And
I feel
come
like
watch
we're
the
taking this
Coach
show on the road now.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean
we're trying to take it everywhere. We're
Oh,
trying to outdo ESPN, man. That's the goal.
There we go. There we go. Hey, big day. I'm trying to get to Texas. Y'all are out doing ESPN.
There we go. You guys dream
both
big,
make it.
right? You guys dream
Let's
big.
both make it.
All right, so who's winning it? We got 4 teams left. I know you're a Texas kid, and I am too.
We try to be unbiased on this show.
But listen, this is gonna be a tough game Friday. Who's gonna win it all?
I'll say this: Notre Dame surprised me. Notre Dame surprised me with beating Georgia like that.
We were surprised by that too.
I'll say this. And I don't know. I mean, you guys might have talked about this, or I don't know. But did you notice that every team that had a bye week lost?
Yes, we already know.
Yep.
We before, right when the playoffs were starting, we said having that much time off is going to hurt those teams, and it hurt all of them. They all lost.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this as a coach. Let me ask you this. I had a suggestion to fix the playoff situation because there's all this. Well, this team beat this team, so they should be in, and Notre Dame not being in the conference, they shouldn't get in, and all this and that. What if we just got rid of bowl season altogether? Because I hate all the tie-ins, I hate all of the crap that goes with that. And I think there's 9 or 10 conferences in big time football, the Mountain West, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Put every conference into division.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 teams that go to the conference championship make the playoff. The winners get a bye.
Uh-huh.
The rest of them, the high seed host a home playoff game. Okay. Start it right after the Army-Navy game. You got the conference championship, Army-Navy, boom. you go right into the dead gum playoff
Mm-hmm.
and play it out. That gives you 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, and there you don't have to worry about South Carolina beat Bama, who beat this team. Win your division, go to your conference championship, and you're in. It doesn't matter your record.
Well, first thing I'm gonna say is you don't like sponsorships because them bowl games the ones do all the sponsorships.
So here's my problem with it. Here's my problem with it. We had a Colorado BYU bowl game. That's a Big 12 bowl game. That should have been Colorado Miami or South Carolina Colorado. You know what I mean? Like that could have been, but because the tie-ins, you lose the great games. Duke versus Ole Miss. We knew that was going to be a slaughter. Like put Ole Miss against Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like put good games together and let's do it that way.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to adjust something. Even with the bowl games, like I don't know how they decide teams play who. But I think what they should start, if we're going to keep the bowl game system, like give us good matchups. Don't give us Colorado and BYU.
Yeah.
Don't give us LSU and Baylor. Like I think they had an opportunity to get some good bowl games in, and they dropped the ball
because of the tie-in.
Like I wanted to see a Colorado Alabama type game. I wanted to see a Colorado because you just want to see the game because you didn't get it all year. Like I feel like they could have done something different with the games. Like it's almost like, hey, I want, like outside of the playoffs, I want this team to play this team. Oh well, now Colorado is playing BYU. I wasn't excited about that game. Maybe if you have those good games, maybe some of these players won't sit out because hey, like Miami, like if Miami was playing Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to beat that good team.
Maybe Ward would have played the whole game. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I know this. So Texas is right now 13-2.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to win the national championship, that means they play 2 more games. I mean, they're at 15 games right now. That means they're playing 17 games. They're playing the NFL season. You know what I mean? They're playing and that's a long time. Those guys have been going and going and going, and that takes a toll on those kids' bodies. I tell you, and I go back to this because I was in small college football when COVID happened. So we didn't play the 2020 season. We played the spring of 2021, and then we played the spring of 2021, went right in the summer, and then right into another season. And that year, I'm telling you, a lot of kids. We had at Hendrix, we had a ton of kids get hurt, bodies just exhausted, and things were just shutting down on them. By the end of the season, we were holding that thing together with duct tape and bubble gum. You know what I mean? And that goes into that where those kids are. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, at Division I. I mean, those guys got 2-3 weeks off in May. They were back for July doing workouts. They got for June doing workouts. They got a week in July. Then they were rest of July. They were working out OTAs and stuff like that. And then they had the runs and lifts and OTAs and stuff like that all summer long. And then you turn around and you go right into camp. And then from camp, you go right into the season right into December where they get some time off. Now, if you make the playoffs, that time gets cut down. So you get, like, if you're not in the playoffs, they probably get 3 to 4 weeks off in December. But then they're right back into it in January in off-season running, lifting, going into spring ball. Spring ball ends, they still run, lift. They get 2 weeks off. They come back for something. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids, and not just the kids, the coaches as well.
The coaches too.
Well. So
the coaches is 365. It ain't him. It's 365.
Oh, that's why my feed keeps dropping. I'm getting calls from kids and texts and stuff like that. So, but no, But no, it's a year round thing now, and the kids' bodies are they're gonna have to get the rest when they get their rest and stuff like that. And if you were to do the playoffs, like you're saying, it's gonna make that season longer, and it's gonna mean they're gonna have to do some things, or they're gonna have to almost get like the NFL if they were to do that, where it has to really cut down on practice time and cut down on the time that they're doing stuff with the coaches, because the NFL has done that. I mean, it's very strict rules in the NFL of how long they can be on the field, how much time from the time the first coach steps on the field to the last coach walks off the field. It has to be in a certain time frame for the NFL, because they know that. I mean, it's a toll on the body doing what they do for such a long period of time at such a high level. So you mean it would have to be some rule changes as far as how much practice time they could get, how much time they're going to actually be over at the facility and stuff like that. If you were to make the playoffs longer like that, it would some things like that would probably come with that. There's some changes would come with that.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's awesome. I mean, that's awesome insight. I mean, when you look at it that way, I mean, it seems like it's 365 for everybody. It's what it seems like. Well, man, we're not gonna hold you much longer, man. I know you're home visiting for a little bit. I do want to ask you, who you out here looking at? What schools you been recruiting at out here?
Oh, just some of those Beast Texas schools, man, and some great student athletes. I love being out in this area. I love being out in this area, and I love like whenever you're talking to a kid and he was like, "Oh, yeah, we play so and so, but you probably don't know." I'm like, "Bro, I'm from over. I'm from over between Gilmer and Pittsburgh. What do you mean?
You probably don't know where I'm from."
Yeah, that's why I was like, "Bro, hey, listen, I know all about this area." So, and
have you have you seen this new offensive lineman that's in Gilmer yet?
Oh, I might have lost him again.
He keeps getting them phone calls, man.
That's a good sign, though. I mean,
that's always good. Yeah, that's come on, when you keep getting them there you are. You there? There we go.
Nope, I think we lost him.
They keep getting them phone calls.
It could be that Union Hill service area too.
Well, it's not the best. It's not the best either. It's about right there. It's about like Diana. So
yeah,
it's about even out there. It's not the best. All right, man. We won't hold you much longer, but I was going to ask you: Have you heard about this new offensive lineman in Gilmer, the big kid?
Yeah, he's from he's from out of the country.
He's from France.
Yeah, France. I thought it's France. France or Germany too. But
man, Gilmer got a good recruiting coordinator. Hey, I call like it is.
He's a big kid, man. Really, really big kid, and he moves well. He's a big athlete, can run. I've seen some video of him. So yeah, he's a big dude, man. He's a really good guy, really good kid.
Hey, got to go get him, man.
Oh yeah.
Last thing.
Okay.
Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Super Bowl.
You can't say the Cowboys this year. Maybe
I was just about to say, now that my Cowboys are out, I can't say the Cowboys.
Yeah, we're gonna do that next year.
Oh yeah, it's already in the books. You might as well book that one next year. So, but no, I would say, you mean the team who has the best run game. So, I mean, you got the Ravens who have Derrick Henry, so they're always going to, be able to do some things in the playoffs. But the other team, I'll tell you, sleeper pick right now is going to be the Green Bay Packers. They're able to run they're able to run the ball now. They're able to run the ball. And if you're able to run the ball in the playoffs, and especially if you can get some people up to Lambeau, hey, listen, they can do some special things.
What about Detroit? They're off. I feel like their run game is. You think Gibbs is taking on too much, or
no? I think they have a great run. I think they have a great team. I mean, I think they have a great team. They, is a guy I was working with at North Alabama that when they beat us, he texted me, and I just didn't text back.
Yeah, we don't need that kind of negativity.
I almost sent him a picture of a white towel. Like I throw it in the towel, man. Leave me alone. I'm salty, but no. Detroit's a good team. Detroit's a good team. You know, I guess I'm just partial to Green Bay a little bit because I've watched Josh Jacobs and he can really run that dang on rock. And you know, Detroit could do it though. I mean, what team is going to be able to run the ball?
One of my things all year through the college side. Run the dead-gum ball. I've said that on almost every show. Run the ball. Run the ball. That's how you beat these teams that are better than you. You control that clock. You keep their offense off the field and just move the chain. And you're either going to do that or you're going to get blown out. That's the way it goes when you play a team that's just completely better than you.
Oh yeah. So you got to be able to have that run game and man, it helps the quarterback out. If you have a good run game, it opens up shots over the top so you can be explosive and stuff like that. So run game fixes a lot. It keeps the defense off the field to get them the rest they need to be able to go out there and fly around. So having a good run game helps the entire program.
That's it.
I mean, I think that's how Texas almost lost was how Scatterboo just took over in the second half.
Yeah.
And that dude was, I mean, insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll I'll keep in touch with you.
Okay.
And, we'll have you on again sometime. I know you're busy, but and we'll come out there and we'll watch a game, man.
Come on now. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and hey, man, y'all are doing some good stuff. Like I said, man, y'all gonna take over ESPN one day.
Hey, we're trying, man.
We hope so. If we do, we're bringing you on. Be ready.
Come on now. I'll be the middle school offensive line coach at Union Hill ISD.
There you go.
You don't want to get. You ain't going back to 6-man now. You had too high of a level.
You in the big times now.
Hey,
I appreciate you guys, man.
Appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
Later, man.
That was awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
It's again we've had all these young adults, these young men on going to play at the next level, but to have a coach on to give us a perspective, even at maybe not the best known college in Arkansas Tech, but it seems like every college just ran the same way. The culture, the coaching, and him even coming back to Arkansas, kind of getting to know like how he moves, like all the moving he does and that process, and just that was awesome.
Dude, I'm the type of person like I'd just be like, we just buying new stuff, dude. I'm not packing all this crap up and moving it again and again. And like, let's get the pictures, let's get the silverware so we can eat. They can have a couch. We need a new couch anyway. Yeah. Like, let's just go on.
It's got to be allotted, man.
Yeah, dude. As soon as he was telling us about coming, I looked it up. 4 hours from my house to Arkansas Tech University is 4 hours and 13 minutes. And then, like I said, Arkadelphia is between there. So it's even closer for us if we wanted to go to an away game. I don't know what kind of pool he would have at that, but
either way, we're gonna try to catch a game out that way. I don't mind driving. I already tell you, I drive for a living, so driving.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing. We make a freaking weekend trip, take the families, and go on with it.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. Make a family trip out of it and go watch a game and go and maybe even
stay in Hot Springs, something. Yeah.
Maybe even get some sideline passes. I mean, that would be neat, man. That would be
put the wife and kids up in the nosebleeds. We'd be on the field.
Well, they won't. They don't mind it. Mine don't care about. I mean, she goes to the games with me, but she just goes to go. I don't think she cares about them. But yeah, they would go just to
get out the house.
Likes, just to get out the house. Yeah. No, it's just making a trip. That would be good enough for her. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to plan that out, man. I'll keep in touch with him, man. Awesome, and I'm glad he joined us. So before we get into our football stuff, let's run our ad for the evening, and then we'll hop right into that. Awesome. Appreciate Wild Root Photography, a.k.a. Derek's sister, for that.
Yes. Real quick plug. The Cavaliers beat the Thunder 129-122. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are the first Cavs teammates to have 20 and 10 since LeBron and D Wade.
Wow. What they're doing in Cleveland is phenomenal.
Absolutely. They are
that team. That team's going to be scary when it comes. Well, just in general. Not even. I mean, we're not even near the playoffs, and well, I mean, sort of, kind of, but yeah. Let's talk about and let's talk about this. These games. The wild card weekend coming up, man. Out of all,
I got some doozies. I got some doozies for you.
I want to ask you just right off the bat, which game or games you're looking forward to the most? Whether it's an upset game or what game are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to the Washington-Tampa Bay game. I think that's probably going to be the best game of the weekend. I think there's a couple of good games. I think that's probably going to be the best game of the weekend to me because you kind of have the upstart, the rookie in Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin coming in. Tampa Bay's real hot. I mean, Baker's playing good. I will say this. I absolutely love the fact that they force-fed Mike Evans Sunday to get him that record and to get him that bonus. I mean, they forced him the ball, and I loved it. Kudos, especially for what Jerry did. Jerry set out a guy that was going to make $500,000 and then wants to say, oh, I didn't know. You know every aspect of that team. You can't tell me you didn't know what he had going on. You know what I mean?
Derek, he's the coach. He knew.
He knew, absolutely. And that was for $500,000. And then you've got Tampa Bay paying $3 million for this guy, and they fed it to him. And, man, I loved it. So massive kudos to Tampa Bay for that. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. I will tell you I have Washington winning that game, though. 27-21.
Ooh.
27-21.
I do think that game. I would say that's a toss-up game. Like I think both could really win that game. You already know what game I'm looking forward to.
Buffalo and Denver.
No.
Oh, the Minnesota and the Rams.
The Rams, my Rams, man. Sorry, Josh. This is not a gimme game for Minnesota.
Nope.
The Rams are for real. I mean, I picked them. I'm still sticking by it. I picked them to win the NFC to go to the Super Bowl. This team got hot at the right time, and I told y'all they were going to get hot, and they got hot, and they stayed hot. I am glad they rest their players on Sunday because, for one, their game didn't matter anyways for either team. Gives them a week off to get ready for this game. Let's go through each game and let's pick our winners. We don't have to tell the score. Let's just pick some winners and see. Let's start the bottom of the AFC. Let's go the Denver Buffalo game. Who you have winning that? Because listen, Denver's another hot team. Now I'm really high on Buffalo. I know you're high on Buffalo, but is this game going to be better, or is this going to kind of be a blowout for Buffalo? Denver's good. They're just not there yet to be an upset team for this.
I think this is going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be what people think it's going to be. I do have Denver losing to Buffalo. I have them losing by 10, but it's 10 late. I think they keep it close. I think they peaked at the perfect time. I mean, they kind of ran off there at the end of the year and hit their stride. And man, I don't think they really stopped. They had to win to get in, but it was because of the early season struggles, much like Cincinnati. They had those early season struggles, But I like Buffalo by 10, but I think they keep it close till late in the third, maybe start of the fourth. I think it's still a close game, but I think Buffalo is just too much in the end.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna take Buffalo in this one as well. I love what Denver's doing. I love what Sean Payton. I love Bo Nix. Yep. I just don't think they're quite there yet.
They're one piece, either a running back or a receiver away.
They're a run.
I would love to see Tyreek Hill in Denver.
You hit it right on the money. They're a running back receiver away from like that offense really being explosive because I actually think Denver has a good defense.
Yeah,
Denver's really always been known. They're kind of like Baltimore. That defense is kind of the backbone of that team.
Yeah.
But I actually think that Denver is going to be like that. They're going to be explosive offensively. They're just missing that one or two guys, and I think that, like you said, they're going to keep it competitive. But I do have Buffalo winning this as well.
Yep.
Baltimore Pitt. I do not think this will be a game. Pittsburgh, in my opinion, has fallen off. I think Baltimore wins this game fairly easy. I do. I can't say a score because I don't know. I haven't really thought about scores on these games. I've just kind of had people who would win in my mind. But I just feel like Pitt's defense has fallen off. Offensively, they're lost their identity. Russell Wilson's playing okay. He's kind of playing like the Russell Wilson what we probably expected to see, in my opinion. Now, this is just me. I thought Pittsburgh should have ran with Fields. He was not playing bad.
I agree on that. 100%.
Now, I'm not sure if the outcome in this particular game would matter at this point, but I think Baltimore's just going to be too much for him in the end, and I have Buffalo winning. I mean, not Buffalo, excuse me. I have Baltimore winning. Yeah, Baltimore winning this game.
I am 100% the opposite.
Really?
I have a low-scoring Pittsburgh-Baltimore is LSU Alabama. That's the equivalent. That's how I see it. I would not be surprised if this isn't a 14-10, 17-14 kind of game.
Okay.
I think Mike Tomlin and that defense rises up. I think the play calling is going to be in favor of Russell Wilson this week. I think he's been a no-show all year. I think Najee Harris shows up this game.
Really? That's the boy you've been kind of down on a little bit.
I've been down on him. I think Najee Harris is in a job interview era now. Each game for him is a job interview because I don't think he's coming back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we've been talking about him.
Yeah,
Need a change of scenery.
Yes, a change of scenery. I agree. So I think Pittsburgh gets this one, and I think Pittsburgh goes into Kansas City, and we'll talk about that one later. But I have Pittsburgh.
All right. No.
Blowout. BTA.
I'm going to assume you're picking the Chargers in that to blow
the
out.
Chargers by 20. Stroud has nobody. No Tank. He's got Nico, but no Tank Dell. Mixon has been a no-show. No Stephon Diggs. They're in the playoffs because their division is horrible. The Colts are horrible, the Titans are horrible, and the Jaguars are horrible. That's the only reason.
I've been meaning to ask you this because you're a Cowboys fan. How do you feel about Ezekiel going to the Chargers?
He'll have 4 touchdowns this weekend.
No.
Best game of his life. Watch. Goal line. They'll feed him the ball. He'll have 4 touchdowns and 3 yards rushing.
Wow, that's hilarious. Yeah, I got the Chargers in that as well.
Yeah,
I think the Chargers is going to be too much for Houston. If Houston was healthy, we may be talking a little different. But I think the Chargers, again, they're another team that peaked at the right time. And
I will tell you this: I don't know how deep you're going to want to go. Are we going to pick all these games?
I was going to say. Well, I was thinking just this weekend. And then every weekend we just continue to pick. I mean, that's what I was kind of thinking.
That's perfect. But I will tell you a hot take. If Pittsburgh loses and the Chargers go to Kansas City, the Chargers will be in the AFC Championship game. Chargers beat Kansas City.
Yeah, and that's the thing is the highest seeded team gets Kansas City. And,
that's right.
And based off of our picks, it would be the Chargers.
Yep.
The Chargers want that game. They want that
rematch
with Kansas City. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough game, man. In Arrowhead, but they did have a bye, and buys have not been favoring anybody.
They have
right
not.
now. So I mean, it's great for rest, but it's not great for games so far this year for teams that had buys. So we'll see what happens this weekend. Let's go to the NFC side. Green Bay, Philly. Who do you have?
Oh, I hate
Is
to
this
say
is this a better? This has got to be a better game than what we think, right?
no.
No, you don't think so? Okay. I mean, it might not be.
Green Bay lost Watson. They're starting receiver.
That is true. That is true.
Jordan Love got banged up last week. So what does he look like coming back? Well, like Coach Hutchinson said, they do have Jacob. I mean, are they just going to force feed him the rock?
I mean, if they force feed him the rock and have the time of possession, they can win the game.
They
But
could.
on the other side of it, though, they have Saquon Barkley, so they're going to do the same thing potentially.
Yeah, I have
So-
Philly. I have Philly by 14. I think it's a game, but I still think they win by at least 14.
Yeah. I mean,
'Cause I don't know what Green Bay has offensively outside of Jacobs now because of banged up Love and no receiver. I don't know where you kind of go there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to agree. I think Philly's going to win this game. I would love to see Green Bay healthy. I think it would be a better game. I still don't know if Philly. I still think probably Philly would win. And some of those Philly guys, they did rest, so they kind of had a bye week to rest, preparing for this game. You know, a lot of people did. Green Bay did not. So we'll see. But I think Philly does win this game at a fairly easy game, not just a gimme game, but a fairly comfortable win. Like, I don't think they'll go down. But I mean, man, as crazy as the college scene was this year, I would not be surprised if anybody gets an actual upset. Like if Denver were to beat Buffalo, yeah, that's an upset. But if Pittsburgh beats Baltimore, not really an upset.
Not
'cause I
really
feel
an
like
upset, yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's only a few of these could actually be potential upsets. Because I feel like a lot of these teams are evenly matched. So I'm
Crazy NFL stat. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season as a head coach.
Never. He's been 500 or better every season.
And another crazy stat. This is probably the craziest NFL stat that I've ever seen. Tom Brady never took a snap where his team was mathematically eliminated from the playoffs.
Wow. I mean, that's just impressive, man. I mean,
That's wild. Like, that's a wild stat.
not only that, he did look. I mean, for all the years he played, he
Yeah.
never, man, yeah.
They either were winning and getting in, or they were losing and getting out. But I mean, it was Paco Chino. Huh? I don't know. What's up, Paco? I don't know that.
What's up, man? I'm not sure what you mean, but what's up? All right. Tampa Bay, Washington. I feel like you've already picked Washington in this.
Yep.
Man, this is kind of a hard one, man. This is a hard pick. I feel like these teams are evenly matched. You know what? Because you're going with Washington, I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I love Mike Evans. I love Baker. I love Buda Baker, the running back for Tampa Bay. I think they have some weapons. What worries me about Tampa Bay is the defense. Going Tampa Bay. Close game, but I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go a little opposite of you, just to have it in there.
And I'm gonna tell you the X factor. Who did Washington pick up during the season?
Oh my Lord, who do they pick up? I know they picked up. Well, I know they picked up, and again, Washington also gets Elkler back, which could be huge. Not that Brian Robinson played great, but Elkler's back, so now they kind of have a double-headed monster back there.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Marcus Lattimore.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely
him and Mike Evans are gonna go at it.
Oh,
that is gonna be the game within the game. How is Baker gonna get Evans involved with Lattimore on him? The last 3 times Evans and Lattimore played each other, they ended up getting in fights. Helmets came off. I mean, it was unreal. So I'm so looking forward to that matchup.
I'm going to agree with you outside of my Rams and Minnesota. I think this is going to be the best game. I really do. It's going to be a good game. But I'm
34-31 Rams.
Yeah, I'm going Rams, baby.
Yeah.
Listen, I like what Minnesota's done this year, but the Rams are hot. They peaked at the right time. They're running the ball great. Matthew Stafford's balling. They're healthy. Minnesota's defense is good, though. The offense can be good. Like, they have weapons, too. Like, this is almost a toss-up game, but I have to stick with my pick because I picked it from halfway through the season. When Dallas, I knew they were out. Well, I thought they were out. They still had a chance, but I'm going to go with the Rams in a close game. I guess you could say it's an upset, even though they're the 4th seed, but I really think these teams are more evenly matched than what people think. So I think it's going to be great games this weekend. It's crazy to think that we're in the NFL playoffs already. I feel like the season just started.
I will tell you why I think the Rams win this game. The Vikings offense did not look good at all against Detroit.
No, they did not.
They got stopped 3 times inside the 5 or 10, whatever it was. Man, you can't do that. Like, you've got to be able to put the ball in the end zone, especially now. I mean, that was a playoff atmosphere, playoff type of game Sunday night. It was the division, and they didn't even show up.
And it was for the number 1 seed.
And it was for the number 1 seed, and they did not show up.
Yeah, man. This is gonna be a good game too. I'm excited about that game. Other news in NFL. Again, I didn't have time to make this, but the Raiders fired Antonio Pierce. What's your thoughts on that? Is it the same as the Patriots?
It's the same as the Patriots, man. You put them. They pick in the top 10 last year, so they weren't a good team to begin with. Like, they didn't have a quarterback, they didn't have a receiver, they didn't have a defense, they didn't have. I mean, their best player was their rookie tight end. Like, yeah. What do you expect a coach to do? But again, it's a sticky situation. Like, where do you go now? Like, how? I seen a stat today. I forgot who put it up, but in the last 10 years, there's been 52 white head coaches hired in the NFL, and 6 of them have been one and done. Or no, 7 of them have been one season and done in the last 10 years. Wow. In that same span, there's been 14 black head coaches hired, and 6 of them have been fired and one and done. But there has to be – so it's not just one side or the other, but you have to – and we've talked about this before – you have to give what's going on, Eric? Appreciate you dropping in, man.
Hey, Eric, how are you, man? You doing all right?
You have to give a coach time to build. I mean, whether it's college or NFL. I mean, Pierce came in for one offseason and tried to get some free agents. Then he had a draft. Then he got fired. He didn't get to go to his next offseason. He didn't get nothing. So it just sucks. Like I said, and there's some great candidates out there that's going to get a job. But I will tell you the most disturbing coaching news that I've heard, or should I say have not heard, this week. And that was that Mike McCarthy has not been fired yet. I think he's going to keep it.
You think Jerry's just dragging it out for?
I think he's going to keep, because why would you drag it out unless the only thing I can think of is you're holding on to Mike McCarthy because you don't know the Ben Johnson situation yet. Maybe you're waiting for Detroit to lose in the playoff and see if Johnson's going back because maybe that's your top candidate. And maybe he wants to say, okay, well, let's give McCarthy and Dak one more year. Well, it's not going to work anyway, so let's just move on from both, and I'd be happy.
Yeah. It's rough, man. I mean, I hope that's like the only thing he's waiting on. Is for a Ben Johnson type player, or a coach. I don't know what else he would wait on to fire McCarthy. But outside of Ben Johnson, I guess my question is there anybody else available?
Brian Flores, Mike Vrabel. I think there's some good candidates out there.
But you think Jerry Jones is like, is it in his mind, is he like Ben Johnson or McCarthy? Is that, you think that's where he's at?
I think that's where he's at.
I think that's terrible. I think that's a terrible way to think about it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Mike McCarthy hasn't shown enough to stay there, in my opinion.
I agree, 100%.
Let's run. I'm actually going to run 2 ads, and then we'll hop into the college games, which start tomorrow, which is exciting. I wish they were during the day because we're off of work, but unfortunately. Yeah. By the way, people, we are experiencing an East Texas winter storm possibly coming in the next 9 to 8 hours. So we will be off tomorrow. And so, yeah, we're glad football's here. We get to watch football tomorrow.
That's right.
So let's run these ads, and then we'll hop into the college, the 2 college games, the semifinals for this weekend or weekend.
Drew Henkel. Therapeutic is located in South Tyler. Drew specializes in deep tissue work to relieve your chronic aches and pains. Drew also offers sports massage or full-body stretch sessions for athletes or people who have tight muscles. Find him on Facebook or call him at 903-747-0417.
Comanche Tees is located in Longview, Texas. They are owned by Naomi Simmons. They specialize in making all kinds of custom apparel and hats for any occasion. You can scan the QR code on the screen to go to her Facebook, give her a call at 903-985-9120, or even email her at comanchetees24@gmail.com.
One of the many things that we offer is a fence repair, and today we're out here in Longview, Texas. We are going to be replacing a rotten 4x4 post. Fence restored and standing tall. You can reach us at 903-619-6343.
All right. First game tomorrow, 6:30 in Florida. We got Notre Dame, Penn State. Notre Dame favored by 2.5. Derek, what's your take on this game, man? Who wins?
Well, Penn State wins. They've got to win. Penn State's got to win. Tired of hearing about Notre Dame. I think they've caught a break. I mean, like a few years ago, the Golden State Warriors caught a break. And they ran through the Spurs with a hurt Kawhi. They ran through the Rockets, and I think Chris Paul missed Game 7. They went through another team that didn't have a starting point guard. And in the finals, they played, I guess, Cleveland without Kyrie, I think. So they hit all these teams, and nobody was playing. So they got an SMU team who was obviously not ready, not prepared. It was just way too big for them. They hit a Georgia team without their starting quarterback.
You mean Indiana? They played Indiana. You mean?
Yeah, Indiana. I'm sorry.
Indiana.
I'm
No,
sorry.
No, I knew what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was looking at the Penn State when I said that.
Yeah.
They played Indiana, who was not ready. It was just too big for them. I think we kind of find out that Indiana really wasn't that good of a football team. I mean, they didn't have any quality wins. They got blew out in their only big game. It was just too much for Indiana.
It was the inexperience for Indiana.
Yeah.
Because I think they have the athletes, just not the experience. Like, I know that sounds like that's not a thing, but experience is a thing in every level of sports. It was an experience thing.
I think Penn State has the defense to ruffle Riley Leonard. I think Penn State has the running game to chew the clock. I think Penn State has the quarterback. I think Drew Aller is emerging as a star. He's played really well these last 2 games.
He has.
So
he has played really well.
I have Penn State 27, Notre Dame 20.
I like it. I'm with you, Derek. I know Notre Dame beat Georgia, which I thought great win. They beat Georgia, whatever. Okay. I think Penn State is for real. Drew Aller is a legit quarterback. The running back is what's his name? Contrell Allen, or I can't think of his name.
Yeah, they've got 2 or 3 of them. They've got a plethora.
They're Tyler Warren. I mean,
the tight end, absolutely.
Jason Witten 2.0, in my opinion. The defense is phenomenal. I just think they're going to outplay Notre Dame. I think this is Notre Dame's run does end. I actually have a similar score, just not.
I wish, Eric. I wish.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they both can't, but one of them's got to win. I do think that Penn State wins, and I have them winning 27 to 14. I'm actually Penn State by almost 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
So that's my score on this game. I mean, again, like I think Notre Dame's defense is good, but I would say right now that Penn State's offense is better than Georgia's offense and obviously better than Indiana. I think Penn State's offense is peaking at the right time in the playoffs. Their defense has always been there. So with that being said, that's why I don't trust Riley Leonard through the air. And in this game, he's not going to be able to run like he did against Georgia. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Penn State swarms to the ball.
Oh, you saw what they did against Genty.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you saw Penn State against Genty. So, that being said, Penn State wins this game. I think comfortably. Maybe it's close in the beginning, but I think they comfortably win this game, and they will be in the national championship. Well, we only have one other game to talk about, and this is a tough one for me since I'm a Texas fan, but, I mean, the truth is the truth. I'll hit on it first. Ohio State is the most completed team left in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They have the star wide receiver, which, in my opinion, if he was in the draft, he'd be the number 1 draft pick. Easily, no questions asked. Quarterback Will Howard has impressed me in the playoffs. Their running game has not impressed me as I thought it would, even now in the playoffs. So it's the matchup everyone's looking for is the best DB against Williams. And I can't think of the kid's name from Texas. It's in
Smith.
Barron. His last name is they're going to go at it all game. And again, this is the same thing I have every time Texas has played ever since they first lost to Georgia, is I just don't know what we're going to get offensively. If Texas can get a run game going, I think this game can stay close because they've got to be able to run the football to keep that defense off the field. If the Texas defense stays on the field like they did last game, they will get blown out, and it's just what's going to happen. The Texas defense has got to get a break. against Arizona State in the second half, they could not stay off the field, and they were exhausted, and they're lucky they won. Texas is lucky that they won. So with that being said, as much as I hate to do this, I've got to pick Ohio State because I'm non-biased and I'm just telling you the facts. Is if Texas' run game was on and I knew they would and that I could trust them to hold on to the ball and not have the defense out there 40 minutes a game, my pick probably would be different. But with what I've seen from Ohio State and what I've seen from Texas is Texas has not impressed me yet. They just haven't. So I'm going to pick Ohio State to win. I do think it's going to be a little closer than what people think, but I think Ohio State wins by 10. Texas's defense is still good, but I just don't know how long they're going to be on the field for. That's the problem. But I'm going to pick Ohio State by 10. I hate to pick it, but I've got to pick with what I feel like really is going to happen. I hope I'm wrong because I want Texas to win. This Ohio State team is really good. Really good.
So, I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you being non-biased.
Honest, man. I mean, I got to be honest. If Texas blows out Arizona State, we're talking different. Right? We're still talking different, but they didn't. It looks like they were going to, but they didn't.
Everything that you said is correct. I think that Ohio State lost to Michigan triggered something. Ryan Day has been coaching out of his mind. I mean, he's coaching to save his job, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And I think the team bought into that. Just as much as Texas has the Barron kid on their side, Ohio State has Caleb Downs, who I think is the best defensive back in college football.
He's
the transfer from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So I think him and Quinn Ewers are going to have a chess match. I think Downs wins that one. I think Quinn gets hit early and often, and I think he gets a little rattled. I would not be surprised if you don't see Arch in this game. Will Howard, as bad as we talked about him kind of during the year, like he was their speed bump. He was their hiccup. Has completely shined in the two games, the Oregon and the Tennessee game, completely shined. And I do agree with you. I think the running game for Ohio State with Henderson and Junkins, as pumped up as it was coming into the year, I think it's died a little bit, and especially in these playoffs. But you don't really need it when you're slinging the ball like Will Howard.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm like you. I have it close. The score is going to look worse. My score is going to look worse than it is. I have it 34-20. But the only reason I have it 34-20 is I have a late pick six from Ewers trying to force something. And so 20-27, a late pick six kind of puts it out of reach.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have an Ohio State, Penn State rematch for the national championship.
Yeah. Man, I mean, of course, I mean, it literally burns my heart to pick against Texas because it's my team, but I have not seen it again. It's not the defense I worry about. The defense looked bad last game because of how exhausted they were because they literally could not get off the field.
Yeah.
The defense is that defense is one of the top defenses in college football. I don't care what no one says. They've been consistent, but the offense hinders them because they can't get drives going to extend the drive to keep the defense to get a break.
And you know but that's also a knock to the offense because
it is.
Mean, they scored 2 plays last week and the defense was right back out there. But this is what I'm thinking. Let me ask you on this side of it. Can the offense get too tired? What if the roles are reversed?
Yeah.
What if Ohio State scores 2 touchdowns in, I don't know, their first 15 plays? Now the offense is right back out there.
The offense is right back out there, and the defense isn't as tired, but now they're having to play better. They're trying to, now they got to figure out how do we stop them.
Yeah,
You know,
and
they,
I mean,
the team is can get. I think they both can get tired. I do, and that's what worries me is just the extent of the offense, defense. But here it's just been the defense been on the field so much. Texas has got to get a drive going, sustain it, eat up some clock, score. Then you get your defense on the field, let them play a little bit. Then the offense comes out, get a drive, stay on the field a little bit. It's just it happens so fast sometimes that they either go 3 and out, or then they'll get a good drive going and they can't make a damn field goal because our kicker can't make nothing right now. I don't know what he's looking at. He can line up in the middle and he still misses. But again, I mean,
I think the key to the game for both teams is long drive. I think that should be the bulletin board material in both locker rooms. Like, let's go on
a 5 to 6 minute drive.
Yeah, let's go like 10 or 12 plays.
Mm-hmm.
And whether we come up with a field goal or a touchdown, let's choose some clock and give our defense a break. And then on the other side of the ball, let's go 10 to 12 plays, field goal and thing, and then let's get into that fourth quarter and let's just kind of see where we're at. Let's just see what defense is rested and going to play lights out for the last 5 minutes.
If we get that game, this is going to be an amazing game.
Absolutely. I could see a 20 to 17 type game.
Yeah.
But I also could see them just lighting it up and the defense is just dragging and it being 41-42.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm hope I'm wrong because I want Texas to win. I want them to go play for another natty, but I just haven't seen enough from them. It's always going to be the offense for me. I don't know what it is. They just seem so stagnant. I don't know if it's
Let me ask you this. If Arch comes in and leads them to the victory, do you start Arch in the natty?
Yes.
I 100% agree.
Yes. Listen. I still think when he came in that Georgia game, the first Georgia game, he should have been the starter from here on out because I think we would be having a whole different conversation. I don't know what it is about Ewers. Like, if you look at his stats, his numbers in the games, they're not like it's not like it's bad. It just something seems off with the offense when he's been in there. I don't know what it is. I'm not the coach. I don't have the.
I'll tell you what it is.
It's something
he's not a runner. He's one dimensional, and so they play it one dimensional. Like, say with Manning, they might call a rollout because if his first two reads aren't there, he can throw it away or he can run and pick you up 4 or 5 yards. With Quinn, I think he's more of a pocket passer or a check down passer. So they call it accordingly, and it looks like it's stagnant because he's not rolling out. He's not play action in a whole lot because he's not the threat to run. So they're sitting back a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to say this. If Arch enters the game, and not just for run play, but to run a drive, you at this point where you are and he is successful, you stick with him in the national championship, you go with Arch, no questions asked. You can at that point, Derek, you cannot go back to Quinn a second, like another. You just can't do it no more.
I agree.
So
I agree.
We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a good game. I hope it's a good game. I hope it's not a blowout. Everyone's expecting a blowout because of what Ohio State's done and what Texas hasn't done. But I do want to say this, though. Arizona State is a great football team. And out of all the teams that have been beaten that people say, yeah, this is exactly what was going to happen, Arizona State deserved to be there. Scadaboo's phenomenal. Levitt's phenomenal. That is a great coach over there. They were one of the teams that people said that shouldn't have been there. Nobody wants to watch them play. I do.
Yeah.
I want to watch them play because they were legit.
They're a couple of bad calls away from playing Ohio State.
They're bad calls, and if they would have had that receiver, who knows what really would have happened.
He is coming back. Did you see that? Him and Levitt are both coming back. I think they're going to be fun to watch next year.
They're going to be fun. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch. I know we're about an hour and 25 in. Let me run another ad, and then we'll, if you want, we'll throw a little bit of basketball stuff in there,
I
and
love
then we'll end the show.
At Hospital Customs, we do custom apparel using embroidery, DTF full-color graphics, engraved leather patches, and supply full lines of promotional products like engraved tumblers, notepads, pins, and so much more. Y'all should go check it out.
Alrighty, Derek. Let me run down. I want to run down. Well, talk. Go ahead. Let me pull it up real quick. Go ahead.
So a couple of why I love college basketball. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. So on Tuesday night, and we've got some tonight too, but on Tuesday night, you have a bunch of ranked games. Okay, number 8 Florida destroys number 1 Tennessee, 73-43. Okay,
they obliterated that team.
It was a great game. It was a great game.
What did I tell you? Well, I was actually on the Sports Nuts podcast. We were talking about basketball. I'm not sure if you saw that. But I said anybody in the SEC can win it because I do believe that. And Florida just
well, this makes my heart happy right here. There's one team that can't win, and that's Texas. Texas is not ready for the SEC basketball.
No.
A&M blew them out last Sunday, I think. They lost.
They beat them by 20. It was 80-20 or 60-80.
Yeah.
They were more competitive tonight, but they still lost to Auburn.
Well, that was last night.
Last night. Excuse me, last night. Yeah, I mean,
Georgia beat Kentucky by 13.
Yes.
Arizona beat number 21 West Virginia by 20.
Mm-hmm.
I love college basketball. I love
it. Michigan beat up on UCLA, beat them by 19. I mean,
where's the other one at?
Mississippi State beat Vanderbilt by 12. Mississippi State's 14-1. Marquette.
UConn lost to Villanova by 2 tonight. A&M is down by 13, now by 14 to number 17 Oklahoma. I mean, every night in college basketball, you have something. You have something so good. Arkansas lost to Ole Miss by, what is that, 7? Ole Miss is ranked 23. Even in basketball, the SEC is the best conference. I mean,
which is insane. I do want to throw a score out here. God, I'm looking at it right now. Illinois is playing Penn State right now. It is 58-28 Illinois.
Yeah. Yeah. Illinois is always good, man. They're Big East. I think as much as football is SEC, Big Ten, ACC in that order, I think college basketball is even across the board. I think there are people in the Big Ten in the Big East, in the SEC, and the ACC that are just head and shoulders above anybody.
Mhm.
So yeah, as far as that, but then
Man.
NBA wise, like I said, we had Cleveland beat OKC by 7. Best 2 teams in each conference.
Mhm.
And it showed. I mean, they were just good. Detroit beat Brooklyn tonight.
Listen, Detroit's coming on. Listen,
De-
I was looking at some of these rosters, okay? So I was looking at and Pistons was one of them I was looking at. So they have Cade Cunningham, obviously. He's the big guy there. Listen, they have Tim Hardaway Jr.
Mhm.
Tobias Harris came back, which Tobias Harris originally played for Detroit back in the day. If you know, he's a little older than what people think. They got Jaden Ivey, young, good point guard. They have Isaiah Stewart, their backup center, or he may be starting for him, but he's phenomenal. They have Azor Thompson, the forward. His twin plays for Houston. They have Malik Beasley. This team, I feel like, in my opinion, they're going to be the sleeper team in the playoffs.
I'm going to tell you, their best player is a guy from Houston University, and he goes by the name Marcus Sasser. He had 15 points last night. For real, that's his name.
Wow.
His Marcus Sasser. There was also a few years ago for Missouri, there was a wide receiver named Bud Sasser.
Hey, maybe you got some kin you don't know about.
I might. They're a little darker hues than me, but
Trailblazers beat Pelicans. Not surprising. Pelicans are terrible. Knicks beat Raptors. Not really surprising. 76ers get a win against the Wizards again. Nah, not a good team. San Antonio is getting beat by the Bucks right now. Pretty bad. By 17. Wemby only has 7.
Huge news yesterday that I've seen NBA wise. Bradley Beal waives his no trade clause.
So he's not going nowhere.
No, he waived it. Meaning they can trade him.
So I got a question about that. When a player of that statue, I mean, he can be a superstar at times, but when someone waives their no trade clause, is that him really saying trade me? Is that what he's trying to tell them? Is trade me?
So the only way I think a player waives a no trade clause is if you go to the owner or the GM or whatever, and you say, "Listen, I want to go to San Antonio or Dallas." Okay, just say those are the only 2 options.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to say, "Sounds like a plan. We want to get you off the books. We want to do whatever." Well, I think they are in agreement. Then they're going to work. But I wouldn't waive my no trade clause and then them be like, "Okay, well, you're going to the Pelicans." Like, I'm not going to waive being on this team to go be on the Pelicans. Like, you're going to have to. Now, if they're going to buy me out, if I'm making $40 million and I'm going to go to the Pelicans and they're going to give me $27 million to buy me out and let me go sign somewhere else, yeah, then I would do that. But other than that, I think that's the only way you waive your no trade. What I was seeing, I don't know how true to this, was Bill to Miami and Jimmy Butler to San Antonio and Zach LaVine to Phoenix. Not trade. I mean, there's trade with Bill and all that, but just different trade packages for each of the 3 players. But those were the 3 moves that I've seen.
I actually think the San Antonio and Jimmy Butler is actually probably getting really close to getting done. It's from what I can tell. Well. And you called that on the last show, Monday.
I think you're watching. I think you're watching the reason why it's just going to get done. Damian Lillard, that's the kind of avenue you need a defensive stopper. especially in the playoffs.
Wimby just can't do it by himself.
No, Chris Paul is not that guy anymore as far as defensively.
Right.
So you need somebody.
I think he does change that team in a good way. Again, I know the off-field, the stuff, the drama, I think Pop will shut that down if that's the route that they decide to go. But I think he could help them for sure. So that's exciting about that though. It excites me. I do like Jimmy Butler. He's a Texas kid, obviously. But I just hope he comes and plays ball and let the rest be what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, man, tonight was awesome, man. We had Coach Hutchings on. Great conversations with him about everything. Got to talk some football, basketball. Sunday we have another guest on. A different completely different avenue.
Yeah,
excited about that.
That's gonna be a good one.
No more details than that. That's as far as I'm going. So people, please tune in Sunday. That's gonna be a good one. And then we'll recap the football weekend for sure. Talk about the games that happened. We'll have quite a bit to recap. And then we have some other guests coming on. Derek's been behind the scenes working as he always does. We actually are doing something after this, so it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So, people, again, we appreciate all the sponsors, everyone tuning in, interacting with us. Again, on our intro and our outro video, we have a QR code. If you scan that, it will take you to all of our social media that we're on, all 5 of them. So, if you haven't followed us or you don't follow us on all of them, go and do that. We'd really appreciate it. And Derek, if you have nothing else.
No, that's it, man. Great show. Appreciate everybody popping in, talking.
And we appreciate Coach. Yep,
yeah,
appreciate him coming in and spending some time with us, and we will see.
Dude, I was thinking, man. So we're gonna have to get a like a private jet. I mean, we got to go to Wyoming. We got to go to UTEP. We got a lot of places to go this year. Which we're gonna have to buy us a private jet.
Yeah, community, if you want to contribute to that, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll start a GoFundMe for our private jet.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Tired Sports private jet.
Yeah, that's it.
And based out of Texas.
Yeah, out of Tyler, the Gladewater Airport, where we're gonna park it.
Ooh, let's do Tyler. Gladewater's a little skeptical. Let's do Tyler.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
We're gonna buy the jet, and it's gonna be gone the next day.
It will not be here. I promise you that. Well, guys, appreciate y'all watching us, interacting with us, and we will see y'all Sunday.